Jesus Christ, how does this... Oh my god. Wet hands, having difficulty doing this. Please open camera. Okay, there we go. Hello everyone, I'm going to talk today, that sounded so disingenuous. Hello everyone. I'm going to talk today about eclipse season. This is what I would recommend that everyone know, especially those of you who have placements in Taurus or Scorpio and are going to definitely feel this substantially. I get a lot of questions about like, explain more, is it good or bad? I know that those people don't actually look to see that I've already done videos on that, but I do want to explain a little bit about how this will show up in your own chart while I'm getting ready to go out for the day. I'm going to, see I'm not naked, I'm in a towel. I'm going to tour apartments, what the fuck fell? I'm going to tour apartments, I'm getting a 1-year lease. I'm going to sell my Dubai place like I've already fucking explained a million times, so you people can stop harassing me, my family, my company about accusing me of being a paid prostitute there when literally I've never been out on a real date in my life, so that's very far-fetched. Anyway, I do ideally want to put that in a property here. So, or just fund my company with it, because raising during this time in the market is just like, I might as well just like give up my entire life to fund this and then have it pay me back later. But I want to talk about eclipse season so that we can get on the same page and answer some common things about eclipse season while I get ready for these tours. And, okay, sorry, this intro is long, I'll keep it under a minute and a half, maybe not 2 minutes. I'm going to see Anthony Green, who's the lead singer of Circa Survive, Sowson, like he's my favorite vocalist of all time actually. I'm going to see him in a small town in fucking New Jersey tonight, and so I have to like take a bus there or something, so that is right after my apartment tours. Actually, I have to come back to give one reading that I rescheduled, and I made a really poor decision to schedule a reading right before this. I'm going to be like running around the city. Anyway, right now I'm just filling my brows in with Anastasia Beverly Hills, brow definer in ash brown, as always. Eclipses, you can watch my full video on the nodes of the moon from like 2.5-3 years ago that describes what the north and the south node are, because eclipses are when the sun and the moon either join together in a new moon or oppose each other in a full moon on the ecliptic, which is the border, the edge of the sun's orbit. So they're energetic extremes, and solar eclipses are always new moons. Lunar eclipses are always full moons. Eclipse just describes the degree to which it is on the ecliptic, and when you hear things like total or partial, that's describing the intensity because of the proximity to the north or the south node. So eclipses are catalyst events that then mark a distinct change over the next 6 months. They're not usually a one-off event that then it's like, oh, that's coming to a close, that's happening, like good to know. It usually does describe something more significant that sets off a chain of events. So if it's a solar eclipse, look at the house that it's happening in your chart. That's usually going to be a really distinct new beginning, and because this new beginning is generally destructive or involves something breaking down, I don't want to say there's an ending inherent in it, because it's not like anything always literally ends, but it is inherently destructive. During ancient times and like very early in history when we have astrology documented, eclipses, particularly solar eclipses, were seen as the downfall of kings that were then usurped. So this new ruler was represented by the solar eclipse. And in our own lives, we can see that kind of happening where something that was ruling that area of our life dies or falls through, and we then have something new that is leading us in a new direction. There's a youthfulness, there is a, I don't want to say youthfulness, but there's a like jagged initial quality to a solar eclipse where it feels kind of like you're an infant and you're just out in the world on something new, and it's kind of like scary, get me back in my safe place, but that safe place doesn't exist anymore. So if you're having a solar eclipse in one of your houses, you can see that as a catalyst event for a drastic new beginning that does involve a like death or a letting go of the previous power structure in that area of your life. I'm careful to explain that they're not inherently bad. Like, I've had eclipses that end up working out really well, but they're uncomfortable and by nature pretty destructive. So, I mean, if you're a mature person, you can take that and be like, yeah, it's not bad. It's just throwing that area of my life kind of for a loop. If you're just not mature and you're just scared, then probably just don't watch my shit, because I don't really sugarcoat or I'm like, eclipse, best time to embark on this. No, let the eclipse guide you. That's the other thing, is that eclipse energy is not really the energy that you want to try to do eclipse. You don't really want to try to do magic or manifestation work under it. If you want to come after me and stitch my videos, be like, she's so negative. No, bitch, I'm literally just describing the astrology. They're great times to start things and to manifest however you want to word it, because I just think about manifesting as beginning a process of action to get something I want. And I'm just setting this concealer that I put on my lids. I'm using the same concealer Tarte Shape Tape that I'm going to use on my face. So in that way, I don't recommend starting or launching anything under an eclipse. Watch for what the eclipse brings to you. It's kind of like trying to light a match during a wildfire. I mean, yeah, you're going to get that done. You're also going to destroy a lot in the process and probably be overwhelmed. Or it's kind of like trying to surf during a tsunami. It's not the time, girl. Like, it's not the time. This is not to say that I myself might not intentionally use that to do something that I really want provocative or batshit. Like, I'll fucking launch something under an eclipse because I was born under an eclipse. At this point, I have nothing left to lose. Let me piss more people off and let me do something. That's why I'm not going to recommend it publicly. But if you really want to fuck shit up, an eclipse is probably, like, the best time to do that, to be, like, sit back and just watch the world erupt in flames. Under a lunar eclipse now, that's a full moon, so that's an ending or a letting go. I see people get confused a little bit with full moons, and like if it's in your 5th or 7th houses, which have to do with love and relationships, it doesn't necessarily mean a breakup. It can, but that's usually when it's accompanied by a difficult planet in your chart. If it's an ending in a relationship house, it can literally just be like, oh yeah, we are no longer living together, or we're no longer living separately, or the relationship is now different because we're working in different jobs. Like, there's definitely an ending there. So it doesn't have to be bad. Look at the planets or whatever it's on in your chart, and usually that'll help inform that. But it is like a chapter ending. If it's in a little bit more of a public house, like the 10th or the 1st house, it can also be that you are having a party or like a celebration around something, particularly if it's like on your Venus or Jupiter or something, or your sun. Actually, you don't really want an eclipse on your sun, I would say. And I'm saying that as someone born with my sun on the North Node. I was born literally between eclipses, like right after a solar eclipse. So they're not bad, but lunar eclipses tend to be like the ending of things. Now I'm just doing black eyeliner in the wing of this. I'm using Kat Von D tattoo liner as always. It's really low. I need to go and get a new one. I just literally haven't had time. I'm so busy with everything. So lunar eclipses are a letting go. The catalyst event will be an ending. And it's usually so substantial in your life that it's not something that can just be like, oh yeah, I finished this project. It's like, oh yeah, this is my final semester at school. I am thinking about work. I'm thinking about living situation. I am wrapping up this major trip that I'm on. I need to exit the country. So it usually is a really substantial ending that, like solar eclipses, I would not try to manifest around. Full moons already are not like the ending, so like you let things go generally. Let me clean this up. Ugh, this is so dry. This is so bad. I left my backup in LA in a hotel room, and my friend thought it was trash, so he threw it away. The friend I'm actually going to see Anthony Green with tonight. If you're a single girl in New York and you need someone, I have someone for you, by the way. I don't know if he wants me saying that. I'm not going to say who it is, but so yeah, in eclipse season, I generally tell people to chill and not to worry and just chill. This doesn't mean take a vacation. It doesn't mean go off the grid, which I think is generally ridiculous. Like, look at what, like, I don't know. I'll be that person who's like, yeah, I think conspiracy theorists are generally more on point than the news, but like, you don't need to go like hoard food. Like, just stop. Unless you were literally in the middle of nowhere, then generally that's different than like being in New York, where we're just, if there's a nuke coming, I'm first line, I'm gonna die, like, it's fine, whatever. My videos will live on. To be honest, that's what I think a lot of the time is like, I have so much out there online, like one day when I'm old or I'm dead or something, like, it's okay. Like, that's me. Anyway, this turned really dark. It's always like that though. I wouldn't recommend intentionally letting go of anything during eclipse season. I wouldn't recommend the intent should be, like I fucking know anything. But to be honest, and this, as someone born under eclipse, I feel a little bit more strongly about pissing people off with this advice. I would think about seeing where this is happening in your chart. The solar eclipse on October 25th is a giant new beginning, a catalyst new beginning. The lunar eclipse on November 8th is a letting go. It's a catalyst event to end in that area of your life. What are you letting go and what are you ending? I'll give you an example for me. The solar eclipse on October 25th is in my 11th house of networking, public image, external groups I'm a part of. And for me, it is right on my midheaven, which is the exact degree of publicity for me. So given this is destructive, I can see there's going to be some batshit. Like whenever the moon is in Scorpio, I tend to have haters come out. I tend to have people accuse me of things every single time, twice a month. It's like on the dot that day. I just go in there. I refer what I need to my lawyers. I block who I need to. With this happening, which is a solar eclipse, which naturally would have the moon and sun together in the same sign in Scorpio, this is horrendous, and I'm very open about like my own chart. Like if it looks bad, I'm not gonna fucking sugarcoat it. I can see that this is like a massive kind of, I don't want to say PR ridiculousness, but there's someone outside listening to me. Oh God. I can see that it's not going to be a fun new beginning, but also with Venus there, it might be something that I'm launching. It could be the fact that we are launching for Astrace, like our vaults around this time, and the people come after me for it because they accuse me of something that's just ridiculous. Like I'm just opening up a lunar trading software. Like I'm not doing anything sketchy, but you're going to make me out to. You're going to be out to be like fucking the devil. I know how you people are. But I think like preparation allows me to ride it out, to not respond during eclipse season, to just keep my head down and keep building. But yeah, it's not the cutest, and then so it's a giant new beginning, but it comes with a destructive catalyst, so I can see that that's probably the fact that our vaults are launching around the time. I can't really avoid that. With that, I can then see that the lunar eclipse on November 8th is happening in my 5th house of creativity and also dating and romance. I don't have anyone to let go for that, so I see more as creativity. It's a pretty sudden letting go. So I'm thinking of there being a sudden issue with something I'm working on that I just have to let it go. I'm a little curious as to what it is. It's not quite as intense on the exact degrees of my chart as the solar eclipse, but I could see it being that I'm finishing something, that I let something go, that I release something. It could also show that like on TikTok, I don't have any current community guidelines violations, but because I've had so many crypto videos taken down because they're accused of financial services, which is really frustrating, I could see that maybe my account is like not banned because that wouldn't happen, but maybe it's getting a text. Someone called me. It's weird. Maybe I'm just getting something that is who is calling me? Oh, it's my agents. Let's get on the phone. I think they accidentally called me. So now I'm doing foundation. Let me get out my beauty blender. I'm doing Giorgio Armani foundation in Luminous Silicon 3. 3 is light neutral, I believe. It's just like, I usually get the lightest shade in a neutral tone because a lot of times the lightest shade on brands is pink, and I'm not Nordic. I don't have pink undertones generally. So someone's going to be in my comments taking offense to that. I don't mean anything bad through that. I just mean Nordic people usually have a pink undertone, but people are sensitive. I'm going to use Beauty Blender with this foundation on a light layer all over my face. But essentially, during eclipse season, preparation and awareness is going to be a bigger deal than trying to make something of it. If you want to experiment and you want to launch something, good luck. I don't really care. Like, go for it. People think I care enough to where when you're like, oh, you said not to manifest during an eclipse, watch me. I'm like, no, I'm not going to watch you. I don't give a shit. But I would avoid, if you're coming from me, I would avoid doing anything too provocative during that time, unless you really, really want to cause some shit, which for me, I'm like, what's left to lose? But if you look for the lunar eclipse in your chart, this one is conjunct Uranus. It's conjunct the planet Uranus, which is really volatile and really chaotic. So I think it could be kind of an ending that involves a suddenness. Saying that Uranus is unexpected is a cop-out. If any astrologer says that, it's a cop-out. Like, you can always specify what area of life the surprise is coming in. But there's a rebellion or a chaotic element to Uranus That is predictable. It just means that we are usually startled. Like, we can be expecting a loud noise and still be startled when it comes. So it's not fucking surprising or unpredictable. Fuck that. But it does show that we are being taken, I say this a lot, like taken for a loop. I don't even know if that's the right saying. It's really embarrassing. But there's an element of chaos. There's an element of sudden electricity. And it could be that something comes prematurely, because an eclipse in an earth sign, namely Taurus conjunct Uranus, just looks like earthquake, but like prematurely even, because Uranus can be shocking. I'm avoiding saying surprising because that's just not the right word. But I wouldn't be scared. I would not be concerned. I would just be aware. And if it's happening on any personal planets in your chart, or like me and Angle, the MC, I would say that that's going to be much more relevant for your own life, and that's going to be something that you definitely want to pay attention to. So I'm going to finish doing definitely running late for this, but it's okay. Mercury retrograde, they can deal. I can probably finish this up within 30 minutes. Anyway, I hope that this was helpful for eclipse season. I'll show you what the look looks like after, and that's all I have to say. Just like vibe it out, don't freak out. If it's on an area of your chart that's particularly relevant, then you can be prepared for it, and likely you might be the agent of that change. Like, you might be the one who's doing that disruptive whatever. So it's not a bad thing, but if you are inherently scared by that, then maybe tracking the astrology isn't for you. That's not like a value judgment, just some people don't like predicting and knowing things. I find it very helpful, and I will keep you updated on my fuckery. So I hope that you enjoyed the solar return video that I just put out. That should be up after I do my makeup. I'm gonna make that public. Oh my god, I'm running so late. But it should be okay, and I will show you my outfit at the end of this. Alrighty, so did my makeup. I just have like a light version of what I usually do. Not that I usually do anything that heavy, but I kept the wings pretty small. I mean, maybe they look big because I have very open eyes, but like they're pretty small. The fit here is, let's see if I can balance this here. The fit is, oh my god, oh Jesus Christ, what the, okay, this is not gonna work. This is not going to, maybe it will. So it's the snake pants and then this top. And yeah, snake pants, Gucci shoes, this top. I'll show you in the mirror, but I'm wearing this jacket. And now I'm sneezing here, Jesus Christ. Just suddenly very sneezy. Basically this is the fit. And I'm wearing this. This thing is kind of weird, but I think it's cool. It just kind of hangs in the back. I'm wearing this with this black backpack because I need water and camera in there. So yeah, this is what's going on, and I will take the tour along with me, but that'll be another video. So if this was helpful about eclipse season, see ya.